Ooh, what is going on, good people? And thank you for tuning in to another edition of the ManUp Real Talk podcast. I am your host with the most, Mr. Michael Wiley, saying greetings and salutations to all of you, our faithful followers and listeners. Look, we appreciate all the likes, the shares, the clicks, and the downloads, and whatever it is that you do to support this podcast, because we know that had it not been for you, there would be no us. Now, if you're joining us for the first time, we want to say welcome. And if you're back for a second helping, we say welcome back, because your boys is back on the air with the ManUp Real Talk podcast for the people. And joining me as always is my partner in crime, Mr. Philip Hines, aka Mr. Classic, aka OG Triple OG, who is always and definitely in the building. What is going on, family?
What's going on, bro?
Today been what? What's going on?
Man, Uber. I was trying to catch an Uber home from work, man. They wanted $75.
Was it a limo?
$75. I was like, CTA me, please.
What was you trying? You were trying to get that Uber luxury edition? Is that what you're doing?
Like Uber, but you know what's going on now, Mike? Because I talked to the guys that drop me off in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them don't like working after 12 or 1 o'clock because a lot of them been getting robbed and carjacked and all type of stuff.
When you meet 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, that's like prime time. Why? That's crazy to me that you wouldn't want to work.
I called one driver, and the driver canceled. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I went from Lyft. I said, okay, I'm gonna try Uber. Uber was talking about $75.
Man, I would have paid a hobo $25 and just got on his back and just asked him to carry me home.
I walked down on Say Name so quick, jump on that Say Name Lakeshore bus.
I bet you did. $75, man.
Listen.
Come on. That's a bit, man. I don't know. Yeah, but
like I said, I talked to the guys in the morning. They picked me up, and they say a lot of drivers are quitting, and a lot of them don't like working after 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow.
And it's hard. He told me, he said, right now, if you try to get an Uber or a Lyft like after 7 or 8 o'clock at night, you forget it.
But you know what though? I find that to be true, because even when you do Uber Eats after a certain time, like they'll say there's no couriers available. Yeah. So times is crazy, man. Listen, hey, appreciate y'all for hanging out with your boys, man. A Real Talk podcast with Mike and Phil. Listen, if you're in the chat, why don't you go ahead and say what's up so we can give you a shout out and say thank you and welcome and God bless your ministry and all that type of stuff. Y'all know how we do. Man, real quick, we got a really good guest on today. We got a young couple who I am excited to speak with. Young man who I've watched grow. I remember, as they used to say, he was knee high to a grasshopper when I first met him. It was just so little, and I remember he was a young man, and he's grown now and got his own wife and children and everything. And him and his wonderful wife, Elizabeth, they're going to be joining us. And they have their own podcast actually called Married at 23, which is really dope. If you haven't listened to it, I'll make sure we post the links so you guys can check it out. Got to say what's up to our viewers. Jackie, I see you. I appreciate you. Big Sean in the building. What's going on, man? Mr. Spin Award nominee. Hey, Sean, when you get a chance, post that link, bro, so they can go on that link and vote for y'all, man. We're trying to get y'all another award. Stop playing. Spin Award nominee, Mr. Sean Pritchett, him and his wife, Natasha Pritchett, they host the MP3 show on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock, I believe. It's either 5 or 5:30. Y'all make sure y'all check them out.
5 o'clock.
Yeah, they extended their time, which is actually dope. Listen, hop on over to YouTube if you haven't had a chance to, and check out your boy's YouTube page. Go ahead and like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Please. As Phil would say.
Like and subscribe the ManUp YouTube page.
Please like and subscribe the YouTube page. You can also follow us and like us on Facebook and all that good stuff. Look, y'all already know the vibes. Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. You know, if you own it, look us up. We might be there, I think.
Mine's coming, Mike. I see you. You keep
showing. You ain't see the flex, did you?
You keep showing out.
You ain't see the flex, young man. I'm just saying.
mine say by Thursday, you gonna wear yours again.
Yeah. You ain't see that, did you? So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Sister Sibby, God bless your ministry, darling. I appreciate you.
Hey, how you doing, Mississippi?
Trying to see anything else coming up. Oh, next week, Cynthia Mondin, she's going to be joining us. She is our entrepreneur she's our entrepreneur of the month that we're celebrating. We are continuing to celebrate Black entrepreneurs all throughout the month, and she has a wonderful catering slash bakery. I mean, she do everything, and she's going to be joining us on next week and sharing her story with us and telling her all about the goodies and stuff that she do. And I think that's pretty much it for the announcement wise. Listen here, for those of y'all that's talking about Kirk Franklin, stop it.
Man, leave that man alone, man. Stop.
Look, and I'm gonna be honest with you.
My son disrespect me. I'm gonna cuss him out too, and I'm a God fearing man also.
Look,
if my 30-something-year-old son want to disrespect me, I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna put my foot up his too. Gangster though, Mike. Kirk got
all I'm saying is, if you grew up Baptist, this is not new to you. My mom was the type of person that she would bless God in one instant and then say, "You better sit your MFNA down somewhere. Now hand me the Bible." And I'm like, how does that work?
You know,
how does that work?
Mike, because I never knew what it was about. So I asked you, we was in church. I'm like, what is it about? So then what you told me, I went back and read, went back and did a little research like.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Look, it was him. It was him and all of us. Let's just be honest. All of us have had those times where we got a little lost in the moment. Yeah, where somebody pushed them right buttons and we said some stuff. Now, I don't know if your language was as colorful as Frank's, but we've all had that moment in time where somebody did something and they pushed the right button and they knew what to do, how to get us to react. I mean, come on. It wasn't like his son was 8 and 9 and he was talking to him like that. He's 33 years old.
Man.
I'm just saying.
Nothing. And Mike, and you can't say Kirk didn't take care of you, because I know Kirk took care of you.
Right.
Man, you're a grown man now.
Look, all I'm saying is, look, Bible says, "He who is without sin, let him cast the first stone."
That's right.
That's all I'm saying. And I see a lot of y'all with rocks in y'all hands.
Leave Kirk alone, man. Everybody human, man. Kirk, man, the sad part is, you don't know what that grown man said to his daddy to make him snap like that, Mike.
Exactly.
You don't know.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying, man.
But Kirk went off though.
Kirk was like, "Nigga, let me." Hey,
don't disrespect me.
He snapped, man. He snapped. I was just like, "Hey, I don't know what his son said, but I'm telling. Look, let me tell you something.
I'll do the same thing, Mike, and you probably would too.
Look, let me tell y'all something. There have been moments where both of my kids have pushed me to that place.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I ain't curse them, or I didn't swear at them, because there's a difference between cursing and swearing. So, and we need to stop saying that too. You can stop cursing your kids. Now, I didn't curse them, but I didn't swear at them either. But you best believe, I think I called him everything but a child of God in that instance. That's all I'm saying. Now, and I don't even think and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think it's fair that he felt that he had to go online and apologize. You don't owe y'all niggas no apology. He human.
I don't agree with that. Kirk shouldn't have to apologize.
He human. I mean, I ain't think Kirk was all the way, and if I'll be honest with you, I ain't think Kirk was all the way saved. No way. I'm just saying.
Man, bump that, man. First Strokes are some of the best cusses you ever heard.
I'm just saying. I know people
are some of the best cusses you ever heard.
Listen, I know some people that have been in church for 5 services. Right. They done fed the homeless, and then when they finished, they done cussed out the bus driver. So it is what it is.
Man, should have to apologize. Like I say, we all human, and I'm gonna be real with you. My son is 28, and if he had disrespected me on the phone, he put a couple of choice words also.
Sister Gina said that her kids said that I have 5%. I have 5% unsaved. I guess she's saying that she's 5% unsaved. I don't know. Listen, all I'm saying is that all of us,
So Cindy said she gonna get them right.
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna get right. All of us are
all of us
subject
to
to
do that,
error.
Mike. All of us,
Yeah,
like
man.
I said, you probably not gonna cuss them out, but believe me, you're gonna say some words that's gonna hurt them.
You're gonna say some words, man. Look, it's just us as parents. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It is what it is. Your kids know how to push your buttons. They know what to do. Even when they're young, they know what to do. You
But
know,
then
you got an old man. You're 33 years old.
He's
Stop it.
33 years old, man. That
All
man
I'm
don't owe
saying,
you. Kirk don't owe you a doggone thing, dude. Because I know
oh, you know,
that man took care of you, and I know you to live nice. He
yeah.
don't owe you nothing, man.
All I'm saying is,
Probably doing something that Kirk don't agree with.
right. But it
Come
clearly it
on,
sounds
boy.
like he disrespected him. All I'm saying is
Yeah,
that Kirk didn't do anything
not at
that
all.
most of us haven't done or know somebody that has done. So leave Kirk alone. Let him live and let the Lord deal with it. All right. Look, we got some awesome guestesses. Is that a word?
No, some awesome guests. Just say that. Awesome guests.
Is guests plural or do you add an S onto it?
Guests. Not guesses, is guests.
So it's not GUESS. We got some guesses.
No, you know what? You starting
We
already,
got
man.
some guesses on the show tonight. Listen, we have Mr. Brandon and Elizabeth Baldwin joining us on tonight of the Married and at 23 podcast. Hello, young peoples.
What's going on, y'all?
Nothing, man. Look, I'm glad y'all here. God bless y'all. Listen, can y'all give our people a warm welcome? Listen, we just so glad. Clap, Phil. I said get them a warm welcome. I'm just so glad y'all here.
I don't know why we're clapping, but you know.
I mean, look, don't they do that on every show? Like, oh, yay. That's how we do it. So what's
Okay.
going on, man?
Nothing much, man. We're just happy to be here. We thank you for allowing us to come on.
Kelly, I'm live.
Kelly, we're live, Kelly.
Jesus.
He does this every show.
I'm live.
That is too funny.
How y'all doing?
Good. How you doing, brother Mike?
I'm doing all right, Mike.
Your name's not Mike, Phil.
Yeah, that's Phil.
I knew who he was talking to.
Yeah.
No, we're doing good, man. Look, I'm glad that you finally got a chance to come on, man. I've been trying to get you on for a while, but I know you got your own family, you're married, you got kids, and you're working and doing all those things, and yeah, that schedule is a little hard to do, but I am glad that you are finally here, you and your lovely wife, and I actually get a chance to meet. I think my first time meeting her. I hear her voice on the podcast, and I've seen pictures, but this is like my first time, like seeing you. So I'm glad to see you.
Why you doing your hand like that, though?
Because I've been married to Kelly, and she does that. She do little things like that. When you've been married to somebody, you start doing things like they do. You don't even realize it. Like I like kids now. I didn't at first.
That's wrong, Mike. Don't say that.
And I like kids because no, man. Look, hey, I ain't gonna even lie to you. Too many kids in the room at the same time used to make me itch. Now I can tolerate them. So listen, you guys have a podcast called. Is it Married and 23 or Married at 23?
Married at 23.
So that means you guys actually got married, or one of y'all got married at 23. Who was 23? Were both of y'all 23 when you got married, or was it just one? Who's the oldest?
We were both.
Yeah, we were
She's
both
the oldest,
23.
but only 5 months. But we were both 23 at the time.
Y'all were both 23 when you got. What was going through your mind, man?
Yeah.
You 23 years old. You was living the life, probably balling out of control. She must be somebody special that you said, man, look, 23, I got to go ahead and settle down and make sure I lock this in. What was going through your mind when you said, I'm finna get married at 23?
That man found the right one.
Was it this? He found the right one? The Bible say, man, a man that found a wife found it a good thing.
Yep. And found favor with the Lord.
Some people might know, most people might know, but we did get my son. We had him before we got married.
Mm-hmm.
So he was born a few months before, and I wanted to be with Elizabeth. I wanted to marry her. Maybe, I don't know when. I just knew I wanted to, and before my son was here, before I even knew she was pregnant. So it's not one of those my mom, because everybody know my mom, Sister Vicky or whatever. you know, she didn't force us to get married, basically, which is something that
A lot of
a
people
lot of
think.
people think, a lot of people thought. You know, me and her, we have
We
been
knew this
together,
was the route we wanted to go,
right,
but we decided to speed things up because we already started our family.
right, and I just didn't like because at first, like when my first son was first born, every single day I was working nights, and so I would go home, sleep, and wake up at whatever
Like
time,
12.
like 12, and then I go to her mom's house to go see her and my son and chill with them for a few hours before work. And I just had to do that every single day. It was just tiring and just like, this is for
It
what,
was a lot
you know?
emotionally.
Yeah, a whole lot. And
Wow.
then like Sundays, she would be
Not
over.
to cut y'all off, but I have some people that's saying you a little low, so you
Mhm.
might have to use your outside voice, Brandon.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
You like Kelly.
Can you
Kelly's a
hear
little
me?
soft spot. Yeah, I hear you. I hear
Is it
you
a little
fine.
better?
Yeah, there you go. Well, that's because you was
Okay.
right on the mic at that time. Let's
Okay.
see.
Yeah, I'm just.
There you go. That's it right there. Now, Regina, let
Okay.
me know if that's good because I think it's good on my end. Let me know. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So we was like, I was just tired of having to go back and forth from to go see her and my son at her mom's house, and then like on Sundays to go to church. My mom she would let it's funny because she would let my son and her spend the night, but they slept on the bed and I slept on the floor next to them on the bed in my room, and it was just like this
That
is
sound like
ridiculous.
Vicky.
It was ridiculous. I'm just like, what is this? Like, this is not life. So I was just like, man, we gotta do this. Gotta get married, and so
Don't say
we
it
got
like that.
married. What?
Man, we got to do this.
Yeah, we did though. I was trying to sleep on the floor. My back was hurting. I'm going to work and stuff like that. And it just wasn't life, you know. So we got married, and again, it wasn't like a forced thing. It wasn't like whatever, like a church thing. It was a love thing, to be honest.
That's
So,
right.
and I'm not just saying that, but I'm just, I'm just,
No,
it's
I
I
feel
know.
true.
I
you.
know you
Phil.
ain't just
I
because
feel you.
she's sitting next to you. I know. I know.
I feel
Yeah.
you.
But let me ask you, man, because I know your mom, and and I ain't putting up business nothing out there, but your mom is a very much a God fearing, she Bible, right? And I wanted
Mike, where you all know each other from?
I used to go Reed's when we were at Reed's Temple. His family was at Reed's Temple while we were there.
Okay.
Yeah. And we were there for man, probably about 10 years or so, I think. 10 or 11 years. And so like I said, I've pretty much seen him and his brother grow up, man. So but I wanted to ask you though, because coming from a traditionally Christian family and home, like I hear a lot of horror stories
Yeah.
when people, when they kids get into a predicament where, they have kids out of wedlock. Like, what was your mom's response like when you was like, look, man, look, here's the thing, you're gonna be a grandma soon. Like, how did she react to that? Or did she react to it? Like, what was that like?
It was like she was upset, but she didn't have like a reaction that you would think. She didn't have a reaction that I heard somebody else have that had their child like right before me that was also at Reese Temple. I'm not gonna say no names,
Yeah, don't say
but I
no
know
names.
somebody else mama that you like if even if I told you their name, you probably wouldn't believe how bad, or maybe you would, I don't know. But I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how the way that it was described to me, how crazy that mother acted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you would knowing my mom, people probably was like, because
Expecting
everybody,
that from her.
anytime anything happened in my life, to be honest, and maybe somebody from church might have found out, all I would always get, man, what your mama do? And I'm just like, yeah, okay, my mom, she is like stern and whatever you think, but it's still like it's never as bad as people their face look. They what she do? It's just like it wasn't. No, it wasn't even all of that. Tell them like really, they like yeah, it wasn't. It really wasn't like. So she her reaction was just like she kind of couldn't believe it because when I first told her,
Tell them
It
the
was-
story.
Look, Elizabeth, like,
Okay,
look, you
so-
better get it right. Get it right.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm itching to tell the story.
No, because the
She
thing
like, get
is-
it right, man.
Right.
So when she did get pregnant, we were in like a little tiff. Me and her.
We technically weren't
We
together.
technically weren't together. Technically,
Oh.
okay,
to,
because it
to,
was
to the outside world.
to the outside world.
Got you.
It was some dumb stuff, and so when I told her, my mom was like, "Oh, okay, by who?" And I'm just, what are you talking about?
Man, she was like, you
By
got
who?
so many. I'm just trying to figure out.
Like I was like, what are you talking about? And then she, I was like, by me, what are you talking about? Like, why would I even tell you? Like, you know, if it was somebody else, like, I don't know. I wouldn't even tell you that. But anyway, I told her, and I told her and my dad at the same time, and they was just like, well, you gotta do the right thing, gotta get, you know, get a job, because at the time I didn't have a good job. Like, I think I was like a Panera delivery driver or something like that at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I found a better job and all of that. But to answer your question, long story short or whatever, she didn't go crazy. She was upset, and some things were said like later on that were like sometimes she would say things like to Elizabeth that's like a little like off, because she didn't.
She wasn't upset, but she wasn't accepting.
Right, she wasn't very accepting
at
first. It took a
some
while.
time.
It took a while.
I think that's
She
I
had
think
to
that's
go
what
through her own journey with that.
right. I think that's what all moms though. With that whole because man, I got some story. Ooh, Lord. I can tell you some stories about my mom. God bless her heart. So I don't think I think that's just universal with moms. What I like about you guys, and just even with the conversation here, and even when you listen to the podcast, I like how just how open and how honest you guys are. What was it that motivated you to do the type of podcast that you do? Because you guys, like, you guys are pretty open with a lot of stuff. Like you talk about your experiences with raising your kids, and even your marriage experiences and family and stuff like that. So was it just to be open and just to kind of give people kind of an inside view of you guys and your experiences? Like, what was it that motivated y'all to start your podcast?
You want to start?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. It was my idea. First
I
of
don't know if it
all,
was just your own.
yes, it was my
It was
idea.
my idea.
I was super pregnant, and I thought about the things that we would go through as millennial parents, and the differences in how we were raised, cultural differences, spiritual backgrounds.
She's Puerto Rican, by the way. If you didn't.
Yes.
I would not have guessed that, but good job.
So that, and the fact that he grew up in church, I did not. I mean, I shouldn't say I didn't grow up in church, but just not the way he did. And so I kept thinking about how no one really talks about the things that we go through as parents or as married couples, and I felt like people our age aren't really settling down. And I just wanted to pretty much have our perspective on what we think, because I think that the way that we view the world is a lot different from the way typical millennials look at the world nowadays. So I think that was like my motivation as far as the podcast.
So when you say you don't look at the world like a typical millennial, are you saying that you maybe have a more of a traditional kind of old school view versus the new? Because now everything is swipe left, swipe right,
Right.
and whatever else is going on out there, because it's a whole lot going on. But you guys, even in you said that you don't think like the traditional millennial. Do you think you have kind of like an old school perspective on life and on marriage and stuff like that, or
Yeah.
maybe not necessarily old school, but just different how versus how you think that people see relationships and stuff now?
I think we have pretty old souls.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's definitely more old school, and it's a mixture because it's not everything, but it's just for me. I know, like as much as again, as much as people may have thought that they knew what was going on or whatever with my family or whatever, um, it was the I don't have many complaints, you know, about how I grew up and everything. Can she introduce the boys to a nice girl? She's
Hey,
funny.
don't pay my wife no
She's
attention.
funny.
She trying to get the boys hooked up. Stop it, Kelly. Stop it.
She's too funny. No, but it was just for me, my growing up, I don't have any complaints about how I grew up or how about how my mom was, and I just believe that they did a great job. Like it's not much for me to complain about. They set me up as good as best as they knew how, and so it's a lot of stuff that I'm taking from them that they taught me that how they were with me, and it's some things that I'm probably not going to implement just because it's just not for me. It's not my personality, but a lot of stuff I want to learn from them because one of me and my brother, we both not on drugs. We both got good jobs or whatever. We both not, bums selling drugs. Like we not doing a lot of stuff that you see a lot of young black men doing. We, keeping our nose clean. So it's like, what, why stray away or try to figure it out? And I already got a blueprint. You know what I mean?
Right, right,
So I
right.
got a blueprint, so let me use that. I might change some things, take some things out, and add some things, but I'm not. It's not too much straying away that I'm gonna do from what my parents, taught me.
Man.
Sound like he was raised right.
Yeah, man. That's what
Boy, it
that's
sound
what that
like,
is.
sound like he was raised right.
But that's dope though, because basically what he's saying is that he took, actually what both of them were saying is that they took the good values that they had, and
Mm-hmm.
even though they're younger, they still took those good qualities, and even though they may not have taken everything,
Put their little twist
yeah,
a little bit.
yeah, they tweaked it. Look,
I feel that.
folks is always nosy. Look at this. I tell you, I don't understand. Look at this. Look. What did y'all meet? Somebody got to ask. Somebody needs to know. So go ahead and give us the deets, as they say. Wait,
Yeah,
do they say that?
Don't say deets no more, man.
I don't know who beat
Like,
they
I was
are.
gonna I was gonna let you slide.
Right.
I
People
was
don't
gonna
say
let you
deets.
slide.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Don't slap that mess. Don't you ever say
Bill, let's not pretend like you so hip on slang.
no,
You
no, no.
you
We don't.
still say
I don't
dope.
say
I
give us
mean, stop it.
the I don't say give us the beat.
Stop. You don't say much of anything. Now, I'm muting your mic. But where did y'all meet?
we actually met in high school. What was that?
12.
2012? Our
Okay.
not sophomore, junior year. That's not when we started. That's just when we, met,
We were
became
really
friends.
close
We was really
friends.
close in high school, and then we didn't get together until 2014. That was like the end of freshman year of college. So yeah,
Mhm.
That's what's up. So when did y'all get married exactly?
2018,
2018.
September of 2018.
2018. Okay, so y'all still kind of new to the game. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, all right. Now y'all and you have two children, correct?
Yep. We got
Yes.
BJ Brandon Jr. He was born in 2018 July, and he's 2. And we got a
Wow.
winner. She was born last year in February.
February.
Her first birthday just passed February 20. No,
So
what's her
how
birthday?
is that? How is that working out with two young ones with you guys right now?
Mm.
Boy, you heard that exhale, didn't y'all? They was like, "Ooh, Lord."
Love
How
'em.
was that working out, man? I mean, look now, and the reason why I asked is because I was married. I got married at 23, actually.
Okay.
And yeah, so and I think that's why I'm kind of intrigued by y'all's story. Like was it and just speaking candidly in regards to children, um, is it a strain on your relationship, or does it make things a little more harder? Do you wish you would have waited a little bit longer before you had kids? Like what's that scenario like with the children?
It's no strain on us. Is I do personally, I do wish we would have waited a little longer, just so that we could, me and Elizabeth could, get our life together. Like, not to say that we was just out here bogus, but it's just, we was
Yeah.
younger, and there's things that it would have been easier for us to do certain things that we may have, that we wanted, that we're, now in the process of trying to do and learn and get better at. And yeah, that's really it. Yeah, so yeah, I did want to wait a little longer or whatever, but this when it happens, so you just had to work around it.
Absolutely. Now, did you guys do like the gender, like I know the gender reveal thing, that's like a big deal. Now, did y'all have like gender reveal parties and all that stuff?
For
We
our
did for
son, we
BJ.
did a big party. And then for Elena, I wanted to do things a little bit different, a little bit more personal, intimate. So I
Hmm.
did a gender reveal for his parents and a gender reveal for my parents.
Okay.
Say hi.
Who is
Oh,
that?
the baby.
Say
Oh,
hi,
the baby.
BJ.
Yeah.
Boo,
BJ.
boo, boo, boo.
BJ.
BJ. Close the door.
Yeah.
He
Close the
like,
door.
man, what y'all doing?
Right.
We
I
at their
don't
grandparents' house. They supposed to be coming to watch them, but
You know how that go.
right. I don't think that having them is a strain on our marriage.
Hmm.
I think having them is
Oh my goodness, Kelly.
Kelly, stop.
She's like the baby. Woof, woof, woof. Oh.
say hi, BJ.
Oh, what's going on, man?
All
Y'all got a
No.
good looking
All
family,
right.
bro. I guess he was like, all right, there's enough of that. Let's go.
Right.
He done.
Enough of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is
Nope.
hard having them so close together in age.
Hmm.
But I think we do a pretty good job together.
So how far are they apart? Look, what, about a year or so?
They are 22 months apart.
22 months.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
about a month.
yeah. That's not
I mean, a
well.
a
month.
month.
A year. Sorry, I'm tripping.
Okay.
Almost. No,
No,
almost 2 years.
almost.
Almost 2
Wait,
years.
no, I think I'm tripping. It wasn't 22 months. I think it was like 18 months.
It's something like
It's
that. It's
something
like
like that.
almost
Yeah.
2 years.
All
He
right.
was born. He was born in
Right. He was born
2018. She was
right.
born in 2020.
Okay. That's kind of how Mike and Gabe is, because I think Michael and Gabriel is about maybe about 14, 16 months apart or something like that, I think.
All
Oh,
my
Yeah.
kids, all my kids are a year apart.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's all right, man. So listen, here's what I want to really pick y'all brain about. So like, especially with the gender reveal thing, and talking about millennials and talking about just how things are so different nowadays. There is an uptrend, whereas there are people now, and for those of you that get offended by transgender conversations, prepare to be offended. I'm just putting it out there. There
You
is
like
an up
transgenders?
well, not necessarily transgenders. Let's just say people that are gender fluid. Uh, I don't know. So it's like, but there's an uptrend of people that are having kids, and what they're doing is that they are basically not telling the child what he or she is, and they are letting the child decide for his or herself what he or she wants to be. My whole pronoun game almost has to be on point when I have this conversation. So,
Yeah.
um, and I read that, and I was just like, I was floored. I'm like, so basically what that's saying is that, hey, if my son wants to wear, my pretty pony shirts and shoes and whatever else, if he wants to dress like a girl, I'm perfectly okay with that, and vice versa with the girls. If they, and if they at some point in time, whatever, if at 4 years old he decides he wants to be a girl, then that's what he's going to be. I am not. I don't understand that concept, because most 4 or 5 year olds can't even tell you what they want for dinner, but you're going to let them decide what they want to be. And I can't imagine the confusion that may put on that child later on in life. My question to you guys is like, I don't even know, like. First of all, what do you even think about that? Is that something that you all even considered, or is it something that you may consider in the future if you decide to have any future kids? Like, what is that something that, I mean, I don't understand why this world is so dead set on not just saying male and female. There's like 20 subcategories now under male and female. I mean, literally, it's like transgender, it's gender fluid, it's gender binary, and all of these things are different. And all it translates to is just, I don't want to be a girl, or I don't want to be a boy. I want to be the opposite thing. So,
Right.
like,
You supposed to know.
so hearing that, as parents of young ones, like, what do you think about that? Like, how would you even, react to something like that? Or if someone says, "Oh no, don't refer to my son as he hasn't decided what he wants. He hasn't decided what he wants to be
Mike,
yet."
you hear yourself, man.
Dude, it ain't me, bro. I'm telling you what it is.
You know what? I'm gonna let the guest speak on this. I don't even want.
I'm telling you what it is, man. So I'm just curious. As millennials growing up in this time, what do y'all think about this type of stuff, or do you even think about it?
To be honest, I have never thought. I've never really.
Put y'all on the spot. That's what I do.
Right. I never really thought about it, even to try it or do it or anything. But I have heard I've heard this before. Um, even before you even mentioned it to me.
I
But
have not.
yeah,
Today was my first time hearing about it.
right.
Are you
It was
really?
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
I've heard the term. You know, but it's for me. If you said how would you react to it, like if say they get older, they go to school or whatever. To be honest, it's just
I'm like,
like
what if Liz just one day says, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna stop calling BJ a boy,
yeah,
and we're just gonna let him decide what he
Let him
wants to be.
decide what he wants to be.
Like,
yeah,
he's no longer a boy. He will no longer. You will no longer use the pronoun he or him.
And no
Um,
longer call your son.
he's just they, and
Yeah.
until he decide what
No,
he
he's
wants
just
to be.
BJ.
no,
I mean, I don't know. It might be Brianna or something. Who knows? I'm just saying, if she just decide to say, let him decide for himself, or
yeah,
they are going to decide what they want to be. Like, what would your reaction be to that? How could you react to that?
right. It would be
Or if
heavy.
the shoe was on the other foot, Liz, if Brandon said, "Hey, I don't think BJ. Look, we're just gonna let him decide what he wants to be."
That's too much. That's too much. Yeah, that's for sure.
Therapy
Is
for
for sure. Therapy. You got to get to the church. You know what I'm saying? Something like that's great. Like that's too
I'm bringing
much.
him to Victoria quick.
Oh yeah, Exactly. Yeah. My mom, she'll get it right. She'll get it right. But no, it's just too much.
I
Like
think that people try too hard to like
Exactly.
be accepted. Like,
Mhm.
it's
everybody
just that
else is
woke stuff,
doing it.
man.
Like, it's like you doing too much at this point. Like,
Yeah, because
you,
it's I'm not saying it was cool, but it was better when they was just asking for tolerance. Like, just, hey, this is what we do. Just
right.
don't kill us, don't bash us, don't beat us up. That was okay. We could give you that, but now they like, no, you got to change now. Now you didn't gave us a little bit tolerance. Now they didn't just try to
That's
bust open the door and like
Mm,
take everything, like celebrate us for being different. Like it's like no, 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 no. I don't have to talk to you crazy. I don't have to treat you like less than a human being. But I don't have to be happy for you for being
Exactly.
gay. I don't have to be happy for you for being trans, and I'm definitely not gonna be happy for you because you decided to force your kids into this thing. Because a lot of the stuff that they always talk about are social constructs, like constructs and crap like that. But what do
right.
you call this new stuff? These are turning into the new social construct. Like this is social. This is you're letting other people dictate what you're gonna do in your home. So you know what I'm
Right.
saying. So
Right.
how
Right.
do you how do you this is just becoming the new normal that y'all have now turned into a social construct. Like socially, it is acceptable for you to say that I have a baby. It is socially acceptable to say whatever about I'm my son thinks that he's a girl or vice versa. You know what I'm
or to
saying?
have
Yeah.
gender neutral bathrooms.
Right, right. So it's
What
like
what is a gender neutral bathroom? I always thought a toilet was gender neutral.
it's just a toilet. Like it's not
Do you remember at
it's-
one point in time the biggest fight was who left the seat up?
right, man.
Now it's like, can I is this a gender neutral bathroom? And I'm like, it's a toilet,
Right,
so whether you stand up or sit down, you should be good. I mean, I
right.
don't understand what the fight is.
It's
It's
just it's
ridiculous.
ridiculous. Like and it's nothing against and a lot of people like a lot of them that I have heard of or maybe even talked to they not even really on some you better or you gotta know my gender or whatever if
Hmm.
whatever they not like so like forceful with it. They just want to be left alone. But then you got
Mm,
people like these people on the news talking about I got babies
Just all the way
just
left.
all the way like just what are you talking about? And I got to know that like some people would be offended if I was like, "Oh, come here little boy," or "Come here little
I
girl."
was watching a
right.
show that the guy was making a speech and he was saying, um, whether I don't remember
Something
how
like
he was saying it, but he was like he or she, and then somebody in the audience like looked at him crazy and he was like they, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
yeah, it's stupid. And that's a that's like multiple people like they not even like at least make up a new word or
It's
something about
right.
they no that's one person talking about they. That's not even
Look,
correct English.
and
Dang.
it's crazy. Look, it's even affecting the toys. Mr. Potato Head is no longer Mr. Potato Head. He's just a potato now.
That's so crazy though because a lot of that stuff they just find an easy stuff like to be honest just so they look woke. That's what I think. Like uh what?
Kelly is on one tonight, ain't she? This on one tonight, brother-in-law, huh? She is doing the most tonight. Keep it coming, Kelly.
but I agree with you.
But she's right, though, Mike. She's right.
She's
She's
Yeah,
right.
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 She's right.
Right. That's funny.
But you know what, Mike? Let me say this. Like I said, teach his own. I don't care how you live your life. I don't agree with it, but when it comes to we doing the things, and now you let your son or daughter decide on what sex they want to be. That's sometimes that like she said, sometimes we can do too much.
Yeah.
Much
But
and it
it's
starts
but
to look stupid.
I wonder though, is it like for attention? Because like when people and to me, it's a slippery slope, right? The whole okay, all right. It's like the whole thing about I don't want to be I don't want to be held to social constructs. Like when you start talking about what is a social construct, right? Okay, um you're either considered male or female, right? But then they started doing stuff like, well, the Earth is flat. These flat earthers, they just they're trying to convince, and literally they're trying to convince people that the Earth is flat. And I'm like, so out of all the stars and the planets in the solar system, God just decided that He was going to make Earth a frisbee and just say, "Yep, it's flat."
Mike, you got too many smart, dumb folks in this world.
These are the same people that say water isn't wet.
Exactly.
Right? It's only when you go in water that you be wet. And then you have people now I've even seen Eddie Griffith. Eddie Griffith had a video and I was watching him on YouTube and he was saying 1 + 1 = 3. Don't let people tell you different.
Yeah, I saw that. He was,
and I'm like,
yes,
he was. Look, here's how he explained it. He was like, what people don't understand is 1 + 1 = 3. He says, see, if I'm 1 and then my brother's 1, I have an occupied space and he has an occupied space. He said, and when we come together, there's a space that we both occupy. So 1 + 1 = 3. When a man and a woman get together, they make a child. So 1 woman + 1 man = 1 child. That's 3. And I'm sitting up here like, okay, so then he even said, if you look at the
praise when he was
he even said that when you look at 1 + 1 = 2 on paper, he said 1 + 1. He said because the plus sign occupies space, you have to include the plus sign. I said, well, nigga, the equal sign occupies space. You might as well just make it 4. And then I'm like, wait a minute. What about the dude that's actually doing the problem? Add him. Now you got 5. I'm like, where does it stop?
Eddie got put down when he was on that video.
Yeah, but it's that type of stuff.
Like people are like math. That's like finite,
right?
And that's what it is. And right now, people, and it used to be finite, boy and girl, and now people are trying to make it like it's a fluid or it's a gray area, and it's trying to add nuance to this. Isn't the time to add nuance to this? You know what I'm saying?
It's like
there's other things that need nuance that people aren't giving nuance. They just fly off because they act like they can't understand, that there are gray areas. This isn't one of them. It's one or the other. If you go get a dog, you go get a dog and say, I want a boy dog, and they give you a girl dog, you're gonna be well, this dog is fluid. This
dog is gender fluid.
Go back to the back and give me a boy dog. It's crazy.
I love it.
It's not true. Adding confusion for no reason,
Now, Brenda actually says something interesting. She said, I don't believe it's for attention. She said, I believe that they go through a lot and want us all to accept what and who they are. I think society wants us to accept the LGBT community as they are. And here's the thing. I have no problem. And I'm very much in sync with what Brandon is saying. I have no problem with accepting who you are.
Like I said, teach his own. Teach his own with me.
Even if I don't agree with the lifestyle, right? I may not agree with the lifestyle, but I'm not going to beat you over the head and say, yeah, you shouldn't. This, that, and the other. That being said, I always ask the question, how much of that person's reality do I need to participate in?
Exactly. And
you know what I'm saying? And I think that's where the conflict comes into play. It's like they want you to say, no, you have to say this. And I'm like, no, I don't.
No.
You're a guy in a woman's dress. Now, if that's your flavor, man, drink up. But you're a guy.
And I don't have to be a part of it. I don't have to accept it. Now, I'm not going to bash you. Like I said, teach his own.
Right.
Running heels and all that, do you? But that don't mean that I have to accept it in my life.
Exactly. And right, Brenda, I don't love them or hate them any less.
Exactly.
I don't agree with it. And I can't agree with it.
I can say that. Like exactly. I get it, back in the day, they was they're right. Like a lot of gay or trans people, they were being killed for this stuff. Like they were being beat up. So I get it. They want to be accepted, and people were taking their right to live, their right to just be safe. They were taking that right from them. Now they are on the other hand trying to take the right from me just to disagree.
Yeah. Look, and I'll admit, man, you know, I mean, when you look at how just the LGBTQ community as a whole, if you remember, you guys may be too young to remember, but when me and Phil was coming up, if someone was gay, that was like taboo, especially in the black community. Oh, yeah. It was just like you didn't even talk about that. If you knew you had a gay cousin, look, you didn't even say he was gay. You just said he had sugar in his blood, or he different. You know, he has a special friend. That's you never said.
But you know, Mike, we had that conversation, like we said, like when sometimes you would know when you see a little boy that's jumping rope with the girls, always playing with the girls. You know, the first thing you would say is he different. That's all you say. You wouldn't call him gay or nothing, but you would just say, yeah, he a little different.
Let me tell you something. I knew a couple of dudes that was crazy good in double dutch. I'm just like,
yeah.
I try to tell you, little boys out there, we out there in the streets playing football and out there double dutching better than the girls. Yeah, he's gonna be different. He's gonna be real different. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, that little boy that was jumping double dutch, he was a little boy,
right?
Disappeared. And next time you saw him, he's either just a gay man or they turned to a transgender woman.
But and again, and I have to ask, where do we draw the line? Right. And the reason why, because I sometimes I'm like, what if, and this is, I'm just goofy like this. I said, what if, like, I don't know, Phil, who's like really dominant in basketball?
As long as you don't say Michael Jordan, you good.
No, Mike too old. Although
don't do that.
I'm just saying, Bruce Jenner, he decided he wanted to. Okay, let's use LeBron. Now LeBron is like what, 6'6", 6'8"?
6'8", 260.
Like 260 pounds. What if LeBron just said, you know what? I think I want to be a woman. And not only do I want to be a woman, I'm going to go and play for the WNBA for the rest of my career. Man, do you know he would score 80,000 points every night?
Get LeBron, the trashiest dude in the NBA.
The most garbage.
He can be hot garbage and going to the WNBA and fall on them females. Like it's different. It's just different.
Right. And it's just like, can you imagine if they said, hey, I'm going to go and play for the WNBA, or if a guy, or let's just say if he decides that he wants to go into female boxing.
Did you hear about the UFC fighter?
No.
There's a UFC fighter. Yeah, let me find his name.
Yeah, find that.
You're right, sister said the Big Mama did call him special.
Yeah, Big Mama called him special. Now, Brittany said, I'm calling you exactly the sex you born. You a boy or girl. It's no shim. What is shim? Is that like she and him?
Yeah. I heard that before.
I've never heard that. Oh, snap.
I heard him before.
Shim, I have some in my family, and I love them all the same, but they know not to disrespect me, and I'm not entertaining any PDA.
Yeah, like I said, now, Mike, let's be real. We all have a couple of well, maybe we don't, but I know I have some special people in my family that, you know, when they come around with their friend, that's the roommate or the special friend. But now you could say that that's their lover. But when we was coming up, if a gay person in our family brought their significant other with them, it would either that's his roommate, or that's his friend.
Yeah. So
that's his roommate.
Her name is Fallon Fox, and she was in the UFC. And yeah, you heard about him?
Yeah.
So was it a guy?
Yeah, It was a guy MMA. Well, I don't know if he was MMA before, but I think he may have, whatever. But he was a guy who changed it to a woman, so transgender woman. He went to the UFC, started dominating those females in the UFC, literally broke a lady's skull, like hit us, hard. They fighting for real. Like,
wait, did he change his name to Ronda Rousey?
right. No, he wasn't even. That's the thing. He wasn't even that good for men. So she changed over or whatever, beating up the ladies but didn't tell anybody. That was the issue. Before nobody knew, and then I guess somehow it came out. They found out. You could even look it up. It's a bunch of Joe Rogan. He's a UFC commentator.
Yeah.
Stuff because he was like, "Yo, this is wrong." You know what I'm saying? So, and he was saying like it was none of nobody's business, but it's like he transitioned when he was 30. So that's like that would be as if you let a female fighter take steroids for 30 years and then say, okay, now you can get into the UFC. No,
Right.
That's crazy. Like all of that testosterone that he had built up, and he went in and it looks like a female, and he went in there busting them females up
because men just have stronger frames, and it's no shot at women and talking about women are weak. I'm not. Please, let's not make this a battle of the sexes. All I'm saying is that it's just physically speaking, men just have larger, stronger frames, and I couldn't imagine a guy. Because even though you may have the surgeries and get the injections and all that stuff, you still a dude physically speaking.
Absolutely.
And you still strong. And so I just wonder where this is going, man. And I mean, it doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon.
Going down, that's where it's going.
Yeah, and look, anytime it starts to affect Mr. Potato Head, it's getting deep.
Yeah,
it's getting deep. I mean, are kids really complaining that Mr. Potato Head isn't gender equal? Do they care?
But the kid's not buying it or whatever. The parents are these
right. The crazy parents is buying it, man, and they're just like, I'm sorry, I don't want a Mr. Potato Head. I want just a potato. Just get the kid a potato.
Potato Head though.
Right? They had Mrs. Potato Head.
Potato Head.
What are women that y'all ain't speaking up for Mrs. Potato Head? They just been kicked out to the side.
And that's the other thing too about this transgender stuff. You don't hear much about female to male stuff. You don't hear much about it.
No,
you hear a lot about people wanting rights for male to female, but when you think about it, when anybody really sit there and think about it, this is a male taking up a space for an actual biological female,
right?
And we want to be and everybody's trying to be more progressive and try to make sure that women have rights, like Women's Month. Like I had never heard of Women's Appreciation Month, but they got it now.
And I'll be honest with you,
I was like, what is this?
If I'm gonna be completely honest and transparent, I've never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
I've heard of a day, but it's like somehow or another they didn't jack the whole month.
whole month, March, and it's whatever. But
March has always been Women's Month. I've been knowing about that for some years.
Really? I never heard. You heard of it?
No, bro.
Heard of it? Since when? You be lying sometimes. You fronting for these people on this podcast. You didn't know about no Women's Month, babe. You would have been looking for a gift or something if you was learning Women's Month. You would be talking about. You ain't never heard about Women's Month. When you heard about it?
What are you talking about?
Nate said, "What is this?" Yeah, I think it is. I have to absolutely agree.
I think it's against the women, though.
It is. I'm looking at it like this. I said, slowly but surely, the brothers is taking y'all positions. And here's the worst part about it. Some of us guys don't even realize it until it's too late.
Yeah.
I'm like, man.
I say folks better start paying attention to how they set society up for black men. For men.
Yeah. Look, yes, Women's Month. Look.
Y'all just been sleeping.
I guess. I mean, Jesus, y'all done stole Sweetest Day. Now y'all got a whole month. What more do you women want?
Stole Sweetest Day.
You stole it from us. What more do y'all want? My goodness. Listen, oh my God, the hour's already up, Phil. This is crazy. Look, real quick, I want you guys to plug your podcast and anything else that y'all doing. Whatever it is that y'all got going, I'm gonna give y'all the floor. Go ahead and put it out there. Let the people know what Brandon and Liz is doing.
What you know the names, right?
The name is Brandon.
Okay, Brandon and Liz, right? On Instagram.
Let's start with the most important podcast.
What's that? Oh yeah, Married at 23. You say it.
Okay, the podcast is Married at 23, and we're on pretty much all streaming networks. I think
Anchor, Spotify,
Spotify, podcast.
Apple, Google.
Okay, so y'all on all the major formats.
The
All of
major
the
ones.
major ones.
That's what's up.
Okay,
It's Man's Day.
Father's Day.
Father's Day. Oh no.
We can get a month. We
Can
can't
we
get
get
a month.
look, can we get a week?
That's it.
Wow. Wow.
All right, so y'all got the podcast, and y'all on you on social media. I'm assuming y'all got on Instagram and all that good stuff.
Right, we're on Instagram. It is Brandon and Liz _ right?
Yeah.
I don't have my phone. It's Brandon, Brandon and Liz _
Yeah.
mine is the Mominaire _ Brandon is
Heavy B to fit B. Trying to lose weight.
I feel you, man.
Yeah. So
Man,
and I like that merch. You gonna make some merch?
you ain't see that. I'm
No,
trying,
I
man.
saw it. I saw it.
I'm
I saw it. You
trying.
gotta
Yeah,
make some
I'm.
merch. That's dope. That is
I'm
dope.
I'm trying to do a little something. So we'll see
Yeah.
how it work out.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Yeah. That's about it. Just Married at 23. We got a podcast. You can find it almost anywhere, and
in our Facebook.
our Facebook.
See, this a fan right here. This is
Nate,
a fan right here.
Nate,
That's what I'm talking about, Nate.
man's Nate. Yes, sir, Nate.
So look, real quick, I wanted to ask you guys this one last question before I let you all go. What advice would you give any young couples, any young married couples that's starting out? What would be just a solid piece of advice that you would give them?
For me, a solid piece of advice would be to um, find if your parents, if neither one of your parents are like, be honest with yourself. If neither one of your parents are like, they're not a good example of a relationship, find you somebody that's older than you with a good relationship, and try to
Mm,
learn as much as you can, because even though we have this podcast, this is our podcast, we're not really trying to give too much advice to anybody. Like, we're young, and we know we're young, we know we don't know nothing. we
Sort of
we're
document our journey.
right, we're just documenting what we are going through and how we think about things. And for us, we're trying to still learn. Like, I still ask my mom and dad things. She still come to my mom and dad, her parents, and ask them about how she could get through things. So a lot of the things, you either hearing what we think, or you hearing what we've learned from older people, that uh have just taken us under their wing, and just, telling us how they got through certain things, or whatever, because that's really what you need. We need to get back to respecting the people that are older than us, and taking away the wisdom, taking the wisdom from them, because that's just how it's always been, and it's been working. The world has been getting better from that. And to kick away older people and think that you know everything now is just how we get to babies. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's what's up. Liz, anything you want to add?
Um, I know a lot of people say communication, but I feel like it's a little bit deeper than communication, because I can communicate to my husband something till I'm blue in the face. Um, But if he doesn't receive it and he doesn't want to actually, change something that I may feel is different or vice versa, then it's never going to work. So I think it's about um, actually caring and wanting to listen to what the other person has to say, um, and building from that, trying to grow from that criticism, constructive criticism, or whatever it is. um, and like something that we've been implementing is allowing the other person to say everything that they need to say without any interruptions, and then giving the other person a chance to repeat it back to you so that we both know and have an understanding that, okay, you heard me, you understood what I was saying, and then going from there. um so yeah.
Yeah, basically cutting out yelling matches.
I love it, man. I love
I'm
it. Listen,
impressed, man. I am really
I'm
impressed.
look. All I'm saying is that look. I wish you. First of all, I appreciate you all coming on, and I wish y'all the best, man. And not only just the podcast, but in life. And I think y'all got something great, and you already got an awesome foundation. So
Yeah, they sure do.
I know you're gonna build on it, man, and just do some awesome work. So I appreciate y'all openness. I appreciate y'all honesty. Listen, I encourage you guys, if y'all do yourself a favor, go check them out. It's called Married at 23. You can't miss it. Just Google it. It's on all your major podcast formats. Just Google it, man. You all will find it because I did it and it was the first thing that popped up. So go and check them out. Go ahead and support them, man. Do some ratings, all of that good stuff. Like and share. Y'all know how we do. Let's support these young people and really help them to build on what it is they're doing. Listen, we'll be back here Thursday talking about, I don't know, ain't no telling, something and somebody. I figured out before then. But it's gonna be Let's Talk About It Thursday. So if y'all ain't doing nothing, come back and hang out with your boys Thursday evening at 7:30. And that's gonna be it for us. Listen, on behalf of our special guests, Brandon and Liz, and Philip Hines and myself, this is the Man Up Real Talk podcast. Until we talk again, my friends, y'all get two fingers to the side. Holla at your boys because we out.